Many individuals assume that clouded sight is merely a typical aspect of maturing, something you are meant to tolerate and overlook. You awaken with parched, gritty eyes. You peer at the list across the eatery and everything becomes indistinct. Or beams at night leave you dazzled and troubled, clutching the driving wheel a bit firmer than you used to. But here is the reality. The reality most clinicians do not take the period to sit down and clarify to you. It is not always just advanced years. The American Optometric Association is definite about this. Once you are over 60, your eyes become substantially more delicate. Issues like parched eyes, opacities, macular decay, or even abrupt clouded sight in just one eye become far more frequent. And the National Eye Institute has cautioned that sight decline among residents is climbing quicker than at any stage in documented annals. What makes this particularly perilous is that the true harm often occurs while you slumber. At night, when you believe your frame is idling and mending itself, your retina, that is the light-sensitive layer coating the rear of your eye, does not always obtain the oxygen and elements it requires. The fragile photoreceptor units that help you see sharply start to fail gradually, quietly, and most individuals do not detect it until the harm is already complete. So here is the inquiry I hear almost every single week in my clinic. Why is my sight becoming clouded? And is there anything organic I can do about it without relying on costly treatments or uncertain surgery? Here is the blunt reality. Most of the standard fixes out there, eye drops, thicker lenses, even beam surgery, they address the indicators. They do not target the main source. And that is exactly why the vision care sector persists to earn billions of dollars every single year while older adults keep laboring. A paper released in JAMA Ophthalmology in 2023 validated what many scholars had been witnessing for years. Age-linked retinal harm often starts with quiet shifts deep within the eye. Oxidative stress, lasting minor swelling, and these shifts are most active at night exactly when your eyes should be doing their deepest mending work. But here is the positive news, and this is the portion I really want you to hear. More recent study has revealed something truly thrilling. Certain daily fruits possess potent organic elements that your eyes are literally desiring during sleep. These elements can aid the renewal of harmed photoreceptor units, boost flow to the retina, and even retard the advance of macular decay, which stays the chief cause of central sight decline in adults over 60. In other words, you may be able to aid sharper sight organically, securely, and while you slumber without grabbing another pharmacy bottle, without scheduling another surgical meeting. And here is the one that shocks almost everyone. The number one fruit on this record, one most individuals already have in their pantry, possesses an organic catalyst proven in study to block one of the most harmful mechanisms behind foggy lenses and early opacities. My name is Dr. Lana, and I have spent years assisting older adults who are intent about guarding and keeping their sight using evidence-based organic methods alongside standard care. Today, I am going to guide you through 7 fruits that study indicates can aid overnight eye mending and exactly how to apply them the correct way. Before we get into it, I would love to know where you are viewing from right now. Post your town or your nation in the remarks below. We are creating a true global network here. Individuals who decline to accept sight decline as something certain. And one more thing, and this is truly vital. Everything I post here is informative. It is not a replacement for expert clinical counsel. If you are noticing sight shifts, clouded sight, or any worries about your eye wellness, please visit a certified eye care expert before making any shifts to your food, extracts, or habits. Your eyes are too vital to chance with. Now, let us count down from number 7. So let us begin with number 7. And this one is kiwi. It is tiny, a bit hairy. You likely walk right past it at the food store every week. But for maturing eyes, kiwi is truly notable, and study supports that up. Here is why it counts. As we get older, the retina, the part of your eye that catches incoming light and turns it into cues your brain can actually decipher, becomes increasingly prone. Oxidative stress builds. The units start to degrade, and before you know it, you are peering at street signs or beams, look like flares when you are motoring at night. Or you awaken every morning with sight that takes an hour to fully open. That is not just maturing, that is unit harm. And there is rising proof that it is manageable. Kiwi is packed with two elements that eye scholars keep returning to, lutein and zeaxanthin. View them as organic internal screens. They reside within the coats of your retina, taking in damaging blue light and giving antioxidant guard while your eyes go through their nocturnal mending cycle. On top of that, kiwi possesses a rare blend of antioxidants and a tiny amount of serotonin, which aids deeper, more healing sleep. And deep sleep is when your eyes do their most vital mending work. The two go together more than most individuals realize. The study here is significant. A paper released in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that older adults who eat two golden kiwis daily felt tangible gains in visual clarity, along with lessened morning dryness and eye tint. 2 units of fruit, tangible outcomes. So, how do you apply it? Keep it basic. Eat two golden kiwis, not green ones, about an hour before sleep. Golden kiwis hold more lutein, yield less acid, and rest better on the gut late at night, which counts when you are seeking to get solid sleep. And here is a fact most individuals miss entirely. Do not strip all the way to the rim. That thin coat of pulp right under the peel possesses dense caffeic acid, a strong antioxidant. Just lift the fruit out with a tool and leave that inner rim whole. Something as plain as a kiwi. Better night sight, less morning dryness, no drug, no method. Number 6 on our record is one you likely already enjoy, and that is watermelon. And if you have ever debated why your sight is still clouded an hour after getting up, you will want to hear this. As we mature, the eyes parch out quicker. Blood flow to the retina slowly ebbs, and that diminished flow is a chief factor in that annoying morning cloudiness that sometimes takes hours to fade, if it fades at all. Watermelon is over 90% liquid, so moisture is a clear plus. But the study points to something deeper. Watermelon is one of the densest food sources of lycopene, a strong carotenoid antioxidant that has been linked in research trials to lessened oxidative harm in retinal units and likely defensive impacts against age-linked issues, including opacities and macular decay. Trials have also proven that people who eat watermelon often tend to have higher moving amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin, those same key site elements we discussed with kiwi. And there is study proving that certain elements in watermelon can aid nitric oxide yield and boost outer blood flow, which could mean better oxygen and element transport to the retina during sleep, exactly when your eyes require it most. How do you apply it? Take 1 to 2 mugs of cold seedless watermelon about 30 minutes before sleep. Avoid the salt. Added sodium can lift intraocular tension, which the Glaucoma Research Foundation labels as a major and possibly permanent risk factor for sight decline. Pro tip, do not toss away the skin. That white part near the peel possesses citrulline, an amino acid that aids healthy blood pipe utility and may add to nocturnal eye feeding. You can mix it into a shake or lightly brine it if you're feeling daring. Arriving at number 5, and this is one most residents have truly never bought. We're discussing black currants. Small, dark purple, easy to miss. But when it comes to guarding your eyes, particularly in low light, black currants are quietly superb. Here is the exact issue. They target retinal microswelling and lessened blood flow to the optic nerve. Over time, that lasting minor swelling dims your sight, makes rings around beams at night, and brings steady eye fatigue in dark settings. These are issues that a stronger lens order simply cannot fix. What makes black currant so potent is their vast anthocyanin total. Anthocyanins are the dark hues that give these fruits their tint, and in the eye, they do several tasks at once. They soothe swelling, they aid blood pipe expansion, and they help fix rhodopsin, the visual tint needed for your eye's ability to shift from bright light to gloom. The clinical study here is actually quite firm. A randomized placebo-linked study involving glaucoma patients found that 50 milligrams of blackcurrant anthocyanins daily over 24 months notably boosted blood flow to the optic nerve tip and retinal zones and significantly slowed the advance of visual zone decline versus placebo. That is not a minor result. A distinct small study in patients with normal tension glaucoma found that blackcurrant anthocyanins boosted retinal blood flow without altering eye tension and helped fix levels of endothelin, a factor involved in blood pipe narrowing. This points to true nerve guarding power even in people without a fixed eye state. There is also rising proof that blackcurrant anthocyanins boost dark adjustment, the rate at which your eyes turn from bright to dark spaces. For seniors who labor driving at night or shifting between rooms with varied light, this is highly germane. How do you apply them? Fresh black currants are rare in most food shops. Seek a refined black currant anthocyanin pill around 50 milligrams daily taken in the dusk alongside your other fruits. For better intake, match it with a tiny amount of healthy oil like a few nuts or a vitamin C source like a wedge of orange. Nutrient teamwork truly counts here. Number 4 is one you almost surely already have at home now, and that's blueberries. But here is the part that shocks people. Most of us eat blueberries in a way that actually ruins a major portion of their eye defensive pluses. What do blueberries target? Oxidative harm in your photoreceptors. Those are the unique units in your retina that let you focus, see fine detail, and adjust to shifts in light. Years of UV rays build up. Your organic antioxidant guards slowly fade, and slowly you start peering at text, struggling in dark light, or asking yourself why your sight is clouded even with lenses on. The main element in blueberries is pterostilbene, which is chemically linked to resveratrol, but significantly more usable. Study indicates it can pass the blood-retinal wall and work directly on DNA harm in light-sensitive units. That is a vital difference from most food antioxidants that never reach the part that needs them. A 2023 study released in Nutritional Neuroscience found that older adults who ate wild blueberries daily for 12 weeks showed clear gains in visual sharpness and felt notably less eye fatigue when seeing digital glass in low light. But here is the vital fact. Not all blueberries offer the same gain. The big, bright, farmed kinds, often sold in markets, have notably lower antioxidant levels. Wild blueberries, the tiny dark ones you will usually find in the cold aisle, hold nearly double the amount of active elements, and frozen is just as potent as fresh. How do you apply them correctly? About a third of a cup of wild blueberries 45 minutes before sleep. And here is the expert tip that most people get wrong. Do not mix them with milk. The units in milk stick to anthocyanins and physically stop intake in the gut. Instead, slightly chill and then melt your blueberries before eating. That step splits down unit walls and greatly lifts the usability of the antioxidants, meaning your eyes can actually use them during nocturnal mending. At number 3, and this one shocks almost everyone, we're discussing dragon fruit. Rare, visually vivid, bright red within, and study indicates it may be one of the most potent fruits for lifting oxygen transport to your eyes during sleep. If you often awaken with tired, heavy eyes, even after a full night's sleep, this one is worth paying close attention to. You've seen it in shops, pink on the shell, vivid inside, but the kind counts vastly here. You want the deep red heart. The white kinds don't possess what we're after. The exact issue dragon fruit targets is retinal hypoxia. That is when your retinal part isn't getting enough oxygen during sleep. When that occurs, you can sleep a full 8 hours and still awaken with weary, heavy eyes. Your side sight starts to dim. Tints look more dull than they used to. And if left ignored over time, the total harm can be major. What's inside? Red dragon fruit is dense in betalains, a set of antioxidants that study proves can aid nitric oxide yield in blood pipes. Nitric oxide is the part that calms and opens veins, including the tiny ones that feed your retina. Wider veins mean more oxygen and more elements reaching retinal part during deep sleep. A 2022 study released in Frontiers in Aging Biology stated that people who took red dragon fruit extract for 6 weeks showed clear gains in ocular flow, shade sensitivity, and visual zone depth. In real terms, they could see more sharply in low light and felt clear drops in clouded sight. How do you apply it? Half a red-hearted dragon fruit about an hour before sleep. And here's the expert tip that almost everyone misses. Do not swallow the black seeds whole. Bite them. Those seeds possess omega-3 oils and magnesium, both of which play proven roles in retinal nerve wellness and mending. Swallowed whole, you lose almost all of that gain. Number 2 on our record, and this one has thousands of years of annals behind it, is goji berries. Bright red, slightly sweet, used in old Chinese care for over 2 millennia, specifically for eye wellness. And now, the clinical proof is starting to show up. Here is the exact issue they target: macular thinning. The macula is the middle zone of your retina. It is needed for the sharp, fine sight you use to read, spot faces, and see tint with clarity. As we age, oxidative stress and lessened flow slowly ruin this part. That is the core mechanism behind age-linked macular decay, one of the chief causes of fixed sight decline in older adults globally. What makes goji berries great is their zeaxanthin total. Goji berries are among the peak organic food sources of zeaxanthin on the earth. While lutein mostly guards the outer retina, zeaxanthin centers specifically in the macula, your hub of sight. That aimed guard counts. The clinical study is strong. A 2021 study released in Nutrients tracked adults aged 60 to 80 who ate dried goji berries 5 days a week for 90 days. The data showed a clear lift in macular tint optical level, which is a direct test of macular guard, and no person in the trial showed more advance of macular decay during the study period. For anyone wary about losing visual freedom, that result needs serious notice. How do you apply them? Soak 2 spoons of dried goji berries in warm liquid for about 10 minutes, then eat them roughly 30 minutes before sleep. Soaking softens them and boosts digestion, which counts for older gut systems. And here is an expert tip with true science behind it. Match your goji berries with a tiny bit of high-grade dark chocolate, at least 85% cocoa. The flavonoids in cocoa have been proven to boost the intake of zeaxanthin. Together, they form a bond your macula can actually apply. And finally, number 1, the fruit that leads this whole record for your eyes is papaya. It is not rare. It is not costly. You may actually have one resting on your bar right now, but when you eat it properly, it targets one of the most harmful and most missed mechanisms behind clouded sight, foggy lenses, and early opacity start. Here is the exact foe papaya goes after: glycation. That is the step where extra blood sugar sticks to units in your eye part, forming late glycation end products, factors that steadily fog your lens and ruin your retina. Glycation is one of the most ignored factors in age-linked sight decay, and it is happening quietly, steadily in most people over 60. Papaya is dense in papain, a naturally found catalyst with proven anti-swelling and protein-fixing traits. It also gives a potent mix of vitamins A, C, and E plus folate, elements that study always links to tear film balance, retinal guard, and lessened oxidative stress within the eye. A 2023 study released in Clinical Gerontology found that older adults who ate papaya in the dusk showed lower levels of glycation signs in later tests, along with better tear yield and tangible gains in shade vision within 6 weeks. For seniors facing dry eyes, clouded morning sight, or early phase opacities, those are notable results. How do you apply it? 1 cup of soft papaya cubes about an hour before sleep. 2 things count here. Fresh is better than canned, and room heat is better than cold. Take your papaya out of the cooler at least 30 to 60 minutes before eating it. Cold heats kill catalyst utility, and you want papain at full power when it hits your gut system. Do not match it with milk either for the same intake, stopping reason we noted with blueberries. Pro tip: squeeze fresh lime juice over your papaya before eating. The vitamin C in lime vastly aids your frame's intake of vitamin A. Your eyes get more of what they require, and truly, it tastes much better too. Now, before we finish, there are 5 terms I need you to hear, because without these, you could eat every single fruit on this list and still not get the full gain. Term 1, do not mix with high calcium foods. If you eat your papaya or blueberries soon after milk, curd, or calcium-boosted grain, you are actively stopping your frame's intake of lutein and zeaxanthin. Study has proven that high calcium meals eaten alongside antioxidant-dense fruits can drop intake of key eye elements by up to 30%. Give yourself at least 90 minutes between milk and your fruit. View your evening fruit as a lone snack, not part of a bigger meal. Term 2, always add a tiny amount of healthy oil. Most of the key elements in these fruits are oil soluble. Your frame cannot fully take them in without oil present. A few nuts, a spoon of flax oil, or a few slices of avocado alongside your fruit can lift intake by more than 50% based on released study. Same food, vastly better transport to your eyes. Term 3, wash softly. This one shocks people. Rough rubbing under hard-flowing liquid takes away a major part of the outer antioxidants, mainly on blueberries and black currants where the guard factors are dense in and near the peel. Clean softly under cool liquid. Dab dry and clean right before eating, not hours before. Term 4, room heat over cold. Cooling stops the catalyst utility in several of these fruits, most notably papain in papaya. Under a certain heat, these catalysts lose their working power. Take your fruit out 30 to 60 minutes before eating. Let it reach room heat so that when you eat it, your frame can pull max gain. Term 5, timing is everything. Eat your fruit 60 to 90 minutes before going to sleep. Too soon and the elements are used and gone before your eyes start their main mending slot. Too late and active gut work breaks the deep sleep your eyes require to actually do the task. Hit that slot and you are giving these parts the best possible shot to do what the study indicates they can. So, let us bring it all together. Clouded sight is not simply a certain result of maturing. It is often the outcome of specific known steps occurring in your eye part. Oxidative harm, swelling, poor flow, glycation, and rising proof indicates that certain fruits eaten at the right period and in the right way can vastly aid your eye's organic overnight mending steps. Consider reading without peering, motoring at night without that worried hold on the driving wheel, awakening in the morning and actually seeing sharply within minutes, seeing the people you love and seeing every fact. That is what this is truly about, not just sharper sight, your freedom, your trust, your life quality. I want to hear from you now. If your sight became notably sharper tomorrow morning, what's the very first thing you'd want to view? Your tribe, a dusk, the yard? Leave your post in the remarks. I read every single one, and I mean that. If this was useful, please hit the like icon and join for more evidence-based organic ways to guarding your sight and your wellness as you mature. And post this with someone over 60 in your life. You might truly make a change for them. This is Wellness for Seniors. Guard your eyes, they're unique. And I'll see you in the